welcome to Game Over Yeah, the video game podcast created by gamers for gamers, with your host Leon,
Dave,
disappearing in the distance there. I don't know what was going on there.
That was Attack of the Cat.
And
amateur aerobics.
who else we got here?
It's me, it's Dino.
Oh shit! Yep, filling in for Mike once again. Hopefully Mike will be back eventually. He's kind of doing a disappearance like Dave at the moment.
Exactly.
He's playing Pokemon Go.
That's what it is.
Secretly moving to a different country. That's what it is. I've started a trend.
I like the trend. But yeah, man. What's been going on this week, guys? I mean, Dave. Let's go with you first, man. What's been going on?
I've been enjoying my summer holidays this week. So,
nice, man. What you been doing?
Bizarrely, I came back to England.
Oh.
Yes. So after all that hassle of getting out of England and moving to Ireland, it reversed and came back to England for a week. Spent it in Lyme Regis, which is a small fishing port down in the south coast in Dorset.
Fair enough.
Which is amazingly popular, but for the tourist trade, it's really nice there. So I had a nice relaxing week by the sea. Pretty much, if I wasn't out, I was sitting in the apartment using the Wi-Fi, playing Pokemon Go and other mobile games.
Sounds lovely.
Because, but it's down by the ocean and there's hills, so the internet doesn't work. And also because I was on roaming, so every time I tried to go to the Pokemon Go, so I was like, oh cool, seaside town, which bizarrely has 3 gyms right next to each other.
Oh wow!
And they were owned by a yellow team.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, for about 5 minutes.
Sounds about right. Because I mean, like for example, Pokemon Go, like in Wickham, in High Wycombe, in the town that me and Dean are in, the gyms just get taken over so quickly. It's so hard to retain a gym to be able to kind of actually earn the gold reward in Wickham. It's near enough impossible.
There's rewards for how long you hold a gym for?
Yeah, there is. You can get I think it's like 500. Is it dust? I can't even remember what the fuck it's called now.
Stardust.
Stardust, that's it. And 10 coins, if I remember rightly. There's like, if you go into the shop section on the app, it's in the top right corner, if I remember rightly.
Like a little shield, isn't it? Zelda shield.
Yeah. And depending on how many Pokemon you've got there, it'll be like 1, 2, 3, all that kind of jazz. And then there'll be a timer over the top of it. And I think it's sort of like a reset time every day as such. If you have your Pokemon in the gym before that reset time, then you get the reward as such.
So basically, if I went into any town or whatever and there was a gym there of my colour, I could just move my Pokemon in there and then I would get the timer.
Only one Pokemon.
Okay.
And obviously it needs to be a high enough rank to be able to actually have your Pokemon in there as well. So like if it's like a rank 2 gym, for example, you could have 2 Pokemon there. Oh, is it only 1 actually? I can't remember. No, it's 2. And then, like, depending on what rank it is how many Pokemon you can have in there as such.
But that's anybody of that team. It's not just...
Yes, that's right, yeah. But yeah, I've always struggled with holding those gyms. I don't know about you guys.
I've never gone to a gym.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
I've not done anything gym related. I've only just recently joined the red team, so...
So we're Team Mystic, me and Dean.
Yes, I'm a dirty, dirty red person.
How dare you, sir?
I've only ever managed to capture like 1 gym, and that was the Pepperpot Bridge in West Wickham.
Yeah,
that's it.
Nice.
I keep looking at them, and then I keep tapping on it, and I'm like, oh, there's a gym, and then I'm reasonably close to it, and it's like it's being held by, it's like a level 5 gym or something, and it's being held by some ridiculously huge evil beastie, and I'm like, not going to bother.
That's fair enough.
But so that's what I did for the week, and then I have returned, and then I spent many happy hours reminiscing old school with the original Doom.
Oh, cool, man! What were you playing it on?
PC.
Cool, dude. Cool.
Yes, keyboard and mouse. It's weird. It's actually really much easier using the mouse. But back in the day when it first came out, you never had the mouse. You had to do it all with the keys.
That's right, you did.
So it does make things a little bit easier. And obviously you have that sort of range thing. So if something's slightly higher and you sort of pull back and shoot, you can kind of hit it up and down. There's like a sort of pseudo up and down in the game. But yeah, so I decided to, Balls of Steel, do the Ultraviolent, which is the level just before Nightmare, because in Nightmare it's the same as Ultraviolence, except enemies don't stay dead. I think it's after 30 seconds they all respawn again.
Oh, bloody hell.
So I tried the very first level on Nightmare and barely made it through the exit, which is just nuts considering it's like very basic.
It is.
But
it is, yeah.
Insanely. It's a nightmare, literally. But because I am achievement whore, there is one achievement to beat a level on Nightmare, which I've done. There's an achievement to beat a level getting 100% everything, which I've also done. But there's an achievement to beat chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4 on Ultraviolence. Luckily I don't have to do it on Nightmare, which is nice. Mm-hmm. So I plowed through that. Episode 1 I can do in my sleep. Literally, I've played that to death. Every level inside and out. Episodes 2 and 3 less so. Episode 2 I pretty much got about 80% of the way through. On my own, there was a couple of secrets that I'm like had to look up, and I would say about 70% of episode 3 I managed to do without cheating. By things up. So I was pretty impressed about it, considering I haven't played it for so long. It's like when you were returning to Final Fantasy VII. It's just one of those things that instinctively you just know.
Yep.
You get to the level and you know where everything is, and you know where the enemies are, and it's just you just sort of get into that flow of things. So even though it was like ridiculously hard level, it wasn't too taxing, and I managed to dispatch the final boss, and off I went. And then episode 4 can go fucking die in a fire. Seriously.
Why is that, Dave?
So, Super Meat Boy. It's a hard game.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sort of, you feel like you can just about get through the level, but you died. God damn it! I want to do it one more time, and off we go. This is episode 4. They basically taken 1, 2, and 3 and gone, you seem to be pretty good with those. You seem to know what you're doing. Let's ramp the difficulty setting up to stupid level and see how you get on. So Ultraviolence on episode 4, level 1. Bearing in mind you only start with the pistol, you have more enemies than there are ammo in the game. There is 6 health potions, which give you 1% health back. I think there's 4 armor bits, which will give you 1% armor. That's it. So there's no medikits, no nothing, and an army between you and the exit. There's a shotgun, and a pistol, and a chain gun, and that's it. There's no bullets. There's enemies that carry shotguns that you can get shotgun ammo for, but once they're dead, that's it. And there's like 9 or 10 of these stupidly hard enemies. Luckily, most of them are optional. But there's only one that you actually have to kill properly. There is a rocket launcher, but in order to get to it, you have to damage yourself intentionally through acid, which eats off a lot of your health.
Okay.
So you've got this sort of it's game that's gone from gung ho, all guns blazing to a real tactical hiding around corners, praying they don't see you, popping one off, and then saving it, and then so really conserving ammo. It's completely different. It's really interesting, and I can do it, but I can't beat the level 100% kills because there's simply not enough ammo. I killed everything except for one dude, which I couldn't kill because I was literally had my fist, and he just goes rah, dead. So at that point, I went fine, and the old archaic cheat codes of everybody knows of Doom to put invincibility on, that went on, and I was like, I just punched it to death for like 5 minutes. It was amazingly satisfying. And then I moved on to the second level, At which point it went and just ramped the difficulty up to the point where I actually had to use invincibility just to get through and complete it on ultra violence mode because it's just stupid. So I feel a little bit shameful that I had to cheat for the very last episode. But to be fair, it was the very first time I've ever been playing those levels, and the difficulties just beyond nuts because they just keep going. Oh, you remember that end boss from the episode 2, the big cyber demon with the homing rockets? They just kept dropping him in the level every now and then. It would just be like, oh, you've opened the door, there he is. Deal with him.
Right. Nice.
Yeah. So nuts, but I beat it, so I'm like satisfied. So I want to Doom 2 at some point now. So yeah, that was it. But satisfying, and I got my achievement. So
there we go. Happy Dave.
Yes.
Dean, man, what about you, dude?
I have been playing more of Life is Strange.
Oh, cool. I mean, what episode are you at now?
I'm halfway through episode 3. I've actually got it paused downstairs.
You've put it on hold for the podcast. I will come back to it at some point. I will hold my hand up and say that when I first started playing it, I hated it with a fiery passion. I found the music annoying and whiny. The story was a bit, and the girl I just didn't connect with the character.
I mean, Dave, honestly, you need to keep with it, dude. It's honestly, it's really good. I played through the whole thing on my PS4, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good story. I really liked the way that they went with it. I suppose we still got to stay away from spoilers, just because we got to wait on Dean getting to the end, and I suppose Dave, we've got to wait for you to get to the end now, my man.
Yeah, well, I have all the episodes. I bought it. That was the thing, is that when I first saw it, and I saw the trailer, and obviously it's ScreenX, I went, squee! And bought it all in one go, and started up, and was hugely disappointed, and went, sod this. But since then, you've been raving about it, Dean's been raving about it, the population of the world's been raving about it, so obviously I'm missing something. It's like Doctor Who. You know, everyone says it's amazing. You go and watch it, you're like, really?
You just need to get through it, because honestly, some of the story elements in it is just crazy, man. Like,
I started crying at the end of episode 2.
Oh wow, dem feels.
Because I was watching the credits. I was like, why am I crying? Why am I crying? It's a fucking video game. What the fuck's going on? Thing is, the same thing happened in Journey. I started crying at the end of that as well.
I can top that. There's a mobile game that was initially started out life as a Facebook game called Criminal Case, which is a...
I remember fucking receiving invites from that game from you, but I blocked that shit. I was like, I'm not playing that shit. I'm not playing it.
It's a hidden object game that I've been playing for fucking years, and each level is its own standalone murder that you have to solve.
Oh, cool.
And then there's zones. So there's like an industrial zone, there's a university zone, there's sort of a museum area, and they all have a sort of an overarching story. So basically, you start out and you get sort of the various characters that will keep cropping up in that particular area. Mm-hmm. And then I got to the very last level of all the zones of the original game before the expansion came along. Mm-hmm. The very last case that you solve pulls in all the big name players from all the previous ones, and then when you find out who the murderer is, it's a shitty Facebook game. You don't think that the story is going to just drop kick you in the balls, but it does in a massive way, up to the point where I was like, what the... I can't, no! You know, suddenly you feel like invested in some of these characters, and you're just like, oh my god, what the hell? It's crazy.
So, I mean, Dean, with Life is Strange, anyway, I mean, you're saying that, so you're halfway through the third episode, right?
Third episode, which is Chaos Theory, I think.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
so, yeah. But I can't really talk about it without spoilers coming out.
You're totally right. You can't. So, I mean, any other games, Dean, my man?
Not really. Like I've been playing a little bit more of GTA 5, trying to get the story finished. It's taking ages to do it.
Nice.
What
Did
else
you ever
have I
do
been
it on
playing?
the original? On like the PS3 or Xbox 360?
Yeah, I finished the 360 one. But just when you're playing it the second time round and you're like, there's nothing different.
I didn't even bother.
So it just becomes a chore.
Yeah. Exactly. Literally,
So
when I bought it, I was like, I'm only going to be playing it online. That's it. I already knew that in my head, and I was like, I'm not going to even bother advancing any further, in the story, because I don't really need to. I've done it before on my PS3. I'm happy.
Yeah.
So there's no difference between any of the versions then?
I mean, graphically.
Graphic-wise.
It's graphic-wise, and the fact that you can go in first person on the next gen, where you couldn't on the previous.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
Do you think they would have put in some sort of crazy Easter eggs for the upper echelons of the current gen players to thank them for returning to the game?
Well, I mean, they made a massive payday still, didn't they? So so they don't give a fuck.
Nintendo have been doing it for years. Keep releasing the same game, and they will spend money on it.
Yeah, EA are really good at that as well.
A lot of companies seem to be getting really good at it.
Yeah.
I mean, Pokemon Go, Candy Crush. They're all good at just squeezing your balls just enough to make you want to spend a little bit of money.
Yeah. We've done the same game. This time it's in blue. Oh my god!
Oh shit! This is a game changer. Oh man.
What about you, Leo? What have you been up to?
Well, I have obviously been playing the most epic game that's come out just recently, No Man's Sky. I picked it up on PS4. I did a stream of it from midnight on the Wednesday when it came out in last week, and I must say I'm really enjoying it. Definitely a lot of fun. I've put many hours into that game already, and actually have started again once as well. So
Really?
yeah.
Oh, wow.
I will explain further on that. Basically, what happened is because I'd pre-ordered the game. There's actually people were reporting of a game-breaking bug within the game, where if you redeem the pre-order ship before completing the tutorial as such, you can actually bypass a lot of the tutorial. The problem is with that. Is that there's a particular blueprint for the hyperdrive where you don't need to build the hyperdrive for the pre-order ship because it's already got a hyperdrive. But on the ship that you're in some sense given at the start doesn't have a hyperdrive, and you need to build one before you can go off into different systems. The problem is with that is because you didn't have that hyperdrive blueprint. It meant if you were to pick up a down ship later on, as such, you couldn't build a hyperdrive for it. So you'd be essentially stuck in that system. Now the thing is that after I'd restarted, I had a friend of mine who actually went through the same way as I did and skipped the tutorial, but he went to a distress signal and he got a hyperdrive blueprint. So it was still possible for me to get the hyperdrive blueprint, but I didn't want to take the risk.
Indeed.
So yeah, I just started again, and if I'm honest, it didn't actually take me that long to catch up. It took me only 2-3 hours, because when I was first playing, I had no fucking idea what I was doing, because it really does kind of drop you in it a little bit. I mean, yeah, there is the sort of beginning tutorials, but like I said, I had my pre-order ship. So I just went, all right, cool, let's just try and figure this out. And yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I had a lot of fun. I was going around everywhere, and I was a bit like, oh shit, do I really want to restart? So glad I did, because it meant that I actually knew what the fuck I was doing at the beginning, which was really nice. So it meant I could kind of get through things a lot quicker.
Is it kind of like Minecraft level of dropping you in it that you just feel like you're in a big sandbox and you can kind of go and do whatever the hell you like and
Pretty much. I mean, you're very much limited by what resources and what your ship can basically do. Because there's I mean, a big negative about this game is this inventory. It's a pain in the arse. You just never have enough space. And you're always having to like dismantle stuff. Even I've even heard people who have got further in the game and stuff like where they're just trying to manage inventory later on as well. They're finding it difficult with like a ship with like 30 inventory slots. I mean, I've got I think it's 16, 17 inventory slots, and for those inventory slots, your main systems do take up that as well. So like your pulse drive, your launch thrusters, your hyperdrive, your shield generator, they take up inventory space as well. So if you want to upgrade your ship as well, you've got to think, shit, do I need that inventory space, like, so that I can get more cargo when I go to this planet? You know, it's just it's a never-ending management of inventory on that game, which is a bit.
Some people would see that and go, "That sounds amazing. I love it," and I sounds the best thing ever. And other people will be like, "Oh my god."
I mean, like. Massive positives on the game for me is just that the fact that it is so fucking vast. There is that, I mean, well, you hear the big number 18 quintillion, or is it quintillion? Sorry, even like that is a ridiculous number in itself. I can't even comprehend that. Like, so there's so many different stars you can go to, which have planets on as well. The planets do vary quite a bit as well. I mean, I'd say because it is a procedurally generated game, I wouldn't say they're always massively different. I'd say
one's blue, one's green.
That kind of thing. But the creatures that you do find on planets as well are fucking batshit crazy as well, which is so funny. I mean, like, I saw this one like creature that was kind of like, I don't know, like a kind of like a cow a little bit, just a four-legged kind of thing, but it had like an anteater head, and I was like, what the fuck is this? I went on another planet and there was these like little fucking like. I don't know. Like the flans in Final Fantasy, they kind of reminded me of the flan from Final Fantasy, but they were hopping around and stuff as well. It was just there were so many weird creatures that you. So
basically, they took all the creatures from Spore and put them in this game.
But I mean, they've basically gone right here. They're going to procedurally generate everything, but they've literally gone. You know what? We're going to chuck away all of the limitations and just let it do what the fuck it likes. I mean, I saw like some creatures that had like 6 legs. 4 of them were big fucking beefy legs, and then like the back legs look like fucking deer legs or something. And I was just sort of like, what the hell is going on here? But it's incredible, and that's what I like about it as well, because of the fact that you're never really. I mean, don't get me wrong, the creatures are fairly similar, but some of them are just batshit, and you're just like, how did it even create that? Like,
and can I kill it? And can I eat it?
Well, there is no eating in this game as such. You don't. If you do farm them as such, you would be. I suppose it would probably be carbon that you might get from them. I'm not sure. I don't usually kill animals that much because I'm a nice guy.
You're a nature lover.
But yeah, I mean, definitely this game is a true exploration game. You really like the. If you do go down to a planet, the size of the planet is ridiculous as well. I mean, like you're easily bigger than like GTA 5 kind of world. I mean, like the whole thing, in just the world as such, which is, on each different planet. It's ridiculous. Just you could be exploring forever. Like, I mean, like I had a friend of mine, Hunter, who joined me on the stream, who he spent like a fucking shitloads of hours just on his first planet because he wanted to get 100% his first planet at least.
Wow.
Where I'd already done like 12-15 jumps by the time he'd left. I'd gone to many different systems already, different planets, because I was just like, fuck it, I want to go, I want to see things,
Yeah.
The only sort of negatives that I've really got from it, and I can see like the main criticisms that I'm seeing on a lot of review sites as well, is that the gameplay is quite repetitive. This is mainly due to like the alien interactions, because they're all pretty much the same. It's just sort of a text-based kind of thing. Don't get me wrong, the text changes, and it's always sort of different things kind of said, but all in all, pretty much the same. You give the right answer, you get a blueprint, or give the wrong answer, they give you fuck all, or you might get hurt or something. It's really a bit dull on that kind of level. And then there is, there's a lot of mining to it as well, and a lot of inventory management. So, the other kind of complaint that I've got is that the combat is quite sluggish. It doesn't really work that well, because you've got like a multi-tool that's got a mining beam, and then you can put a bolt caster on it as well, and the bolt caster is your main like weapon that you're using to shoot like sentinels. Sentinels are kind of like the robot things that are pretty much on every planet. They kind of like, they patrol the planet to make sure that things are doing all right as such, but you can go to certain planets that are hostile, where like the sentinels will just fucking attack you straight away, and you're like, fuck, gotta run. Oh, wow. But like if you're in space trying to do a space combat, just don't even try. It is awful. I mean, like if you like see like hostile space scan, or sorry, a subspace scan, just run the fuck away. Like, jump to another planet. Don't even bother. There'll be 3 space pirates coming after you, and you will get fucked. Guaranteed, hands down, you will.
So basically, you can tell that these guys have had, the experience of making these huge expansion environments, and the procedural generation, and then yet when it comes to the actual nuts and bolts and the combat and all that sort of stuff, that they're obviously not very experienced with it, and maybe it sort of feels a bit tacked on.
But the thing is that I've still got a fairly early on ship. I haven't got anything that's particularly great, so I've got a feeling that if I get the right type of ship, it might be more interesting to do that kind of combat, because there is kind of 3 classes of ship. It's like what you'd expect, sort of an exploration, trading, or a straight up fighting ship as such. But I mean, all in all, I'd give the game pretty solid 7 out of 10, I reckon. Just because, I think the game is still a lot of fun. It's got a lot more to deliver. I'm really interested on how, they might implement some kind of multiplayer stuff in the future. Apparently, it's going to be very difficult for a multiplayer kind of thing because of the sheer vastness of the universe. It's very unlikely that you'll probably come across another character, but people already have, apparently. But the interesting thing is that they haven't been able to see each other yet, and we thought that.
So they've come across.
They basically came across the same universe, so the same planet as such, and they couldn't see each other. Now, we kind of were expecting to be able to see each other, but I think it was probably to do with server overload stuff. So they have the servers have been kind of turned off most of the time from what I've seen, but it hasn't affected the gameplay at all, because we can still play it. No, we can still absolutely play it. It's fine, on that kind of level, which is great. So I haven't had any downtime. I have, however, had a few crashes here and there, but maybe once again to be expected from a small team trying to do quite a big game. For example, I was at an Atlas kind of place, picking up an Atlas stone, and in fact it wasn't an Atlas stone. I was literally just there was 3 options, to be able to go help me, give me something to aid my exploration, lead me to somewhere else, and then lead me to on the path of Atlas or something like that. I kept hitting the path of Atlas, but every time I'd hit the path of Atlas and then jump into hyperdrive, I'd crash. As soon as I chose a different option, it let me through. That's only happened on that one occasion of the mass crashes, if you know what I mean. I literally couldn't get past it until I selected a different option.
Yeah.
There has been, here and there little crashes, but I haven't really lost too much data on that kind of level, because it does save quite frequently, which
That's
is
good.
really helpful. But some people have already been exploiting that, and they've been duplicating their items as such by like dying, reloading, and because of the fact that on a server kind of base wise, the item's still there floating in space, like of where you had died previously, but you've loaded,
Yeah.
so they're just doubling up their inventory. I haven't done that. I have been completely legit.
Although saying that,
No man's
saying
sky.
earlier about the fact that there's limited inventory space, I don't think they can duplicate much.
Right? That's exactly what I was thinking as well. I was like, nah, what are you doing? It's such a bad idea.
Look at all these things that I can't possibly carry. Woo!
You know what? I'm surprised, Dave, that you didn't play the... did you play the latest Hearthstone kind of thing at all?
Not yet. It's
Ah.
updating. It's literally just finished updating.
Okay.
Yes, I was on holiday. I saw that there was a new adventure.
Because you said about it on the last show. You said that a new
Yeah.
adventure was coming. So I actually had a little play on the...
Oh yeah.
On the,
What do you think?
Well, I think it's really good, but I tell you what I'll do. I'll wait until you've played it, and we'll talk about it next time. How about that?
That makes sense. I'm going to be doing a video on it anyway. So
Oh, brilliant, brilliant. I mean, literally, I'm probably won't be picking up the whole thing because I generally don't with Hearthstone, but I thought it was really cool. You know, that the first episode there.
I think it was nice of them to do the first bit for free.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. But I've been playing a lot of it lately, actually, because my phone it is a lot better now, so it's kind of a good game to kind of pass the time. You know, like we're in between things, like, or if I'm like watching something on the telly, it's quite easy to kind of play at the same time.
Yeah, indeed.
So yeah, no, I've been getting into it lately. So I don't know.
We'll have to set up a match at some point.
Oh
and,
yeah, for sure, man. I mean, I'm sure you'll still kick my ass, but yeah, man. No, I'm totally game for that, man. Totally game. Well, I'll move on to my last thing, which isn't a video game at all. It is a tabletop RPG. I went on a lovely site called Roll20.com. Have either of you ever heard of it?
No.
It's basically a place where people that play like Dungeons and Dragons, or all of those kind of role playing games and stuff. You can kind of do the whole tabletop stuff on Roll20. So in other words, like a games master can kind of plan out all their maps and everything, and you can move your character. You can also like do all your roles on there and everything. It's basically, it's got the lot, for if you want to do like a role playing game. So I put myself out there to be like, okay, I really want to give one of these a shot. And
Sure.
someone let me in. Someone let me in on it's I'd never heard of it before, but it's called Stars Without Numbers. It's kind of very loosely based on Dungeons and Dragons anyway. It's a retro science fiction role-playing game influenced by old school Renaissance and partially inspired by the great fantasy role-playing game editions written by Tom Moldvay and Frank Mentzer. It's pretty much kind of like a sandbox style of adventures in the far future. It was an odd kind of experience. It's kind of the first time that I've ever actually, done a role playing kind of game. So I rolled my sheet, my character sheet with the GM like the week before, and we did it as such. And he was kind of explaining everything to me, and I was like, okay, all right. So I picked my character and everything. I've made a character up called Chuck Lonsdale. That's right, Chuck Lonsdale, and he's a warrior who comes from a security background, trained as a space marine. I haven't really come out with too much background yet. Other than like he's got scars all over his body, but he's in like a full.
Of course.
He's in a
like
full
all warriors
suit.
should.
He's in a full suit though. But I've told the party that I'm with in some sense that they're not allowed to ask about where the scars have come from, or it will unleash the rage of Chuck. So that I've got out of that quite nicely so far. So if they do ask, I'll obviously have to come up with something.
Or just get really start shouting, throw your monitor across the screen or table or something. So how many people are you playing with?
There was the GM, and there was four players, including myself. So yeah, there was So it was quite a few of us. The GM, lovely guy from the Netherlands. I think there was one of the other guys was from the Netherlands, and I don't even know where the other two guys are from, because if I'm honest, we didn't even really talk. It's in like ourselves, if you know what I mean, like talk about ourselves, introduce ourselves. It was literally, we just went straight into the game as such, which kind of threw me off a little bit, because I was like, fuck, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing right now.
Just shoot things.
Well, I mean, no, but the problem is that, you know, like you'll have to do a certain role. So you'd be like, oh, okay, so all right, I'll roll my D20 or something to be able to kind of do the attack. Oh, and then I have to roll like 2d8 plus my dexterity, and I'm just sort of sitting there going, what the fuck? But luckily, because Roll20 is really fucking helpful, is that as long as your character sheet is set up correctly, you can just kind of hit the roll button next to it. It does the macro for you, and you don't need to worry.
That's all right.
But like I could tell, like, because I was sort of going, so what do I do now? Like, so I could tell like this one guy was getting really irritated with me. And like, 'cause he was like, it's really easy, and I was just like, that's really not helpful. I was like, if you just tell me where it is, then this whole thing's over. You know, like I'm done, and then you don't need to worry about it. But after that point, it was fine, because I knew where everything was then, and I could kind of do everything from there, and it was okay. But bit hairy.
You gonna go back?
Episode. Yeah. It's happening every Friday at the moment. It started at 6 o'clock in the evening, and we didn't finish until like 10. It was like a long 4-hour slog, no breaks either. It just kept going.
Sure.
It was brutal, and like judging by, because I was one of 2 new people in this group. The other guy got really fucking into it. I can tell that he's been doing it for ages. He's done like D&D and stuff like that in the past, and it was really cool for someone to get into it, because the other 2 guys who had already been in the campaign for a little bit, because I think this campaign's been running for 3 weeks already. This is the 4th week, and obviously I think they had 2 people drop out, and that's why we're in now. And it's just sort of like like I said, he got really into it, and we now think that this is probably going to run for probably a few months, just judging by what he's kind of up with.
I've been initiated into a D&D evening with some friends, so we're actually doing it for like realsies, so we don't actually have fun little macros to help you with the rolls. You have to do it all yourself. But so we sit around a kitchen table in an evening.
That's amazing. Honestly, I would love to do that.
Wizards and barbarians.
I'd love to do that, but I just don't have the people here, and also I'd want someone to run it, not me, because I just don't feel like I've got it yet, if you know what I mean. Once I've played a few games, I reckon I probably could run a game, but I just want to get into it first and actually understand what's going on.
It's crazy how many rules are involved. Because I just thought I'd rack up and just be like, rah, I will kill that thing, and then I will loot that corpse, and then I'll go home to tea. But no, there is a million billion rule. It's like, I wish to walk across the street, but then I have to do something, and then it has to affect something else, and then I may have to roll, and then when the combat starts, then it's like, then there's spells, and there's a certain order that the spells go off in, and even talking to people, it's all depending on where you are to determine with the rest of the party. So if they're in a different room, then technically you can't hear what they're saying, so you have no idea what's going on. It's all happening next to you, and there's etiquette involved as well. Yep. And you know what I'm like with etiquette.
Oh yeah. But yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to it. I probably will check in the future and tell you how it's going. See if I'm still enjoying it. Seeing if I'm actually understanding what the hell's going on. But
you definitely see it through, man.
Just to give you an idea at the moment, we're currently just to give you a little bit of history of what we're doing at the moment. We're on a quest at the moment, because they picked up the quest before I joined, so I've kind of like hopped on. We're doing a mission so that we can get an interest-free loan so we can buy a ship.
Nice.
Because
like real life.
The weird thing is that we don't actually have a pilot in our group, so we're actually going to have to hire an NPC pilot to help us out as well.
So you buy the ship, and then you're going to go, oh, we can't fly this thing now.
We can't fly it.
It looks really pretty. We'll just sit in it and make some
So yeah, we don't even have a pilot. It's ridiculous. But we had like an NPC with us already. There was like a weird like little girl called Mary Ann that was with one of our characters. I have no idea what the relation is yet because they haven't explained that yet. But it's a really weird character. But like it was funny because like we handed a gun to like the character, like this little Mary Ann. And she was slaying it, man. She was absolutely killing everything.
As all creepy little girls in movies do.
We were like, this is amazing. We don't even need to do anything. Let's let Mary Ann do everything. But yeah, I mean,
you should do a Dear Diary. You should keep us informed with the progress of your character.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we'll do, man. We'll do. I'll let you know more about Moria. I'm level 3 now because we got some experience from the last battle that we just did. So, yeah, which is good. We still haven't even made it to our mission as such yet, but hopefully we'll get there soon. Because we were trying to hitchhike. Well, we were trying to hitchhike onto a ship so that we could kind of get over to there. Oh no, we did get over to there. Oh, you know what? I can't even remember now. It's because I've been listening to a Stars Without Numbers like show on YouTube called Swan Song because that was kind of like getting me into it. But now I'm getting like stories mixed up from what they've done with what we've done. It's like I'm lost.
It's also very easy to get sidetracked.
Oh fuck yeah! Because we did for ages. Like, I mean ages. That's why it was 4 hours. Jesus Christ, man. But yeah, that's me for this week. I'm sorry to bore you with a load of that, but news time.
News.
I tell you what, when I saw this the other day, I was a little bit annoyed. Then went, oh, you know what? Fair enough. Final Fantasy 15 has been delayed to November the 29th.
Clearly, they want to put extra love and care into it and polish it up a little bit more.
Maybe they can fix the person who played it for fucking E3.
Yeah, oh yeah, because he was fucking awful.
What's this?
Do you remember? Did you watch E3 at all, Dave?
No.
Okay. Well, which one was it? Sony's conference.
I have a feeling it was Xbox's one.
Oh, was it?
Sure.
I think it might have been. It was one of the conferences anyway. They were obviously showing off Final Fantasy 15, and the guy who was playing it was fucking shite.
Oh no! You remember you telling me this? Yes.
Yeah, because he nearly died. He nearly died a couple of times through the other thing. It was embarrassing to watch, man.
He just kept getting swiped by the hand every time.
Oops. Yeah, you kind of, if you want to be showcasing a game, you kind of want someone who knows what they're doing.
Right?
At least the damage
the demo is over. And it's not because it's a short demo, it's just because I'm shit and I keep dying. Although, to be fair, it is a great way of not showing content. Oh, we would have loved to show you more content, except this person can't get to the end of the level. So
but, I mean, Square Enix did come out and say this is kind of to allow the development teams time to further polish and conduct quality testing so that the reality of the game can match the expectations of both the fans and the creative teams. I mean, like, it's good. I'm glad that they're not rushing out a game and it's going to be buggy or anything. So at least the fact that they are adding this extra time to it, hopefully, the game's going to be even better when we do get it. So I was a little butthurt at first.
They found some horrific crash.
You think so?
Basically halted the launch that they've got to fix. And then obviously that's now set the testing back and they've got to do it all again.
Yeah.
That's probably what.
I mean, just on a...
7 meant to launch?
They haven't given a date for that yet.
Have they not?
No date.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely nothing on that. I mean, like, just on a Final Fantasy 15 level with they're looking to polish. I mean, No Man's Sky could have done with that on the PC version. I'm not sure if you heard about it. It hasn't had the greatest launch on PC.
Oh, it has been all over again.
Has been a little buggy. So I don't know. Maybe some other developers can learn from Square Enix. As long as Square Enix make sure the game is fucking right. when they.
Yeah, but how many times have we been in this situation where a game
Many.
comes out
Many times.
and they've said we need to polish it, and then other times the game has not come out because they said that they've stayed to polish it, and then it's come out and you're like, well, what have you done to it? There's no difference.
Watch Dogs.
Yeah.
You know, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, and you're damned if you just don't give a shit. So
Yeah.
basically, there's a thing that is too much. So the game should come out at some point, no matter what state it's in. And the good thing with PCs, and now to a certain extent with Xbox and PlayStation, which was not a case before, is that you can do updates and you can tweak where necessary. So, you know, this is good. But then it does fall into the trap of laziness, which is like, oh, we'll just put out whatever and we'll just fix it when necessary.
Exactly.
So, you know, there's fine lines and balances. And generally, Square Enix are pretty good. Kind of like what they did with Final Fantasy, was it 14, 12, where they fired everyone, burnt them all at the stake, and
I
basically
think it was Realm Reborn where they 14 Realm Reborn where they redid it basically.
Yeah. And no one ever knows what happened to the original development team.
Pokemon fans out there was a fan-made Pokemon Uranium that was actually dropped last week and also taken down last week very quickly. It got 1.5 million downloads, and the people behind it, even though they haven't got a cease and desist letter or everything like that, they've just sort of gone, yeah, they're probably not going to like it, so we're going to take down the download link now. But it's been downloaded 1.5 million times. It's out there on torrent websites everywhere now. It's like they took 9 years of work, 9 years to make this game.
I'm reckoning that that's deliberate. That they've obviously been because I mean, you don't work on something for 9 years only to go, oh, there it is. No, there isn't. You know. They obviously, they're in secret deals or they're going to be in secret deals. Basically, they're just going, look, this is what we can do. We don't want to tread on any toes, but this is obviously our showcase. And now they can pretty much walk into any decent development job, and it's good on their resume. So fair play for them for doing that. But what sort of style is it? Is it like original Red Blue style, or are they sort of opposite?
I think
it's like GBA style.
Yeah, I'd say like GBA style as well. Definitely say that.
Because why has it taken 9 years then? It's not like, high quality graphics or something. Maybe they've just, because every 2 years they keep adding more Pokemon, and they're like, bloody hell, and they've had to go back and rejig it.
Okay. Oh, fucking hell. Oops, let's turn down that.
Oops.
I was just opening up the link and it was just playing.
Have you actually had a go at it then? Did you manage? Are you one of the lucky 1.5 million people?
No, I haven't had a play on it yet. I have got a friend who's playing through it at the moment, and I am definitely going to be checking it out. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see on how that goes. But it looks cool though, and the fact of that, it is, a fan-made Pokemon game. I'm down with that. I'm down with Pokemon because it's right up there in the mainstream at the moment, thanks to Pokemon Go.
When I originally saw that, I thought you said that they've, because obviously with Pokemon Go being so big in the news recently, that a fan base had done a alternate spin-off of Pokemon Go.
No.
And that's what it was.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed.
But,
yes, indeed. And Dave, man, what's going on news-wise?
Yes.
Your way.
So, as you may remember, was it last year before, there was a thing called Gamergate that a lot of people in the industry were getting behind or running away from very quickly, and it was all over the sort of the social medias. And there was basically the two camps. There was the men and the women, and the sort of whole feminism in gaming and stuff. And it sort of has died down in the West, and people have kind of moved on, and it's still there, but just not as much in the forefront right now, except in Korea. It's blown up hugely over there. Basically, in South Korea, there is a video game. It's because obviously the Koreans love their video games, and they love their MMOs. And there is a particular MMO called Closers, which, from the looks of it, is some sort of Heroes of the Storm, Dota style run and shooty, point and tooty type of game. And there's an actress that does a voice of the character, and she has been seen with a tweet wearing a T-shirt that says "Girls do not need a prince." At which point, pretty much the entire male fan base of this game blew up in backlash and hate mail and general complaints, and the company responded by turning around and immediately firing her and taking her out of the game. She is no longer in the game.
What?
It turns out that this particular slogan is the slogan of a feminism group called Megalia. Now, Megalia, their logo is that. So a lot of Korean men are very upset about this particular logo because it sort of implies that they have small penises. So not many people like this feminist group. So the feminism group has basically kicked off because the woman got fired, have then staged a protest, at which point the male population have responded to the protest by staging a protest of their own.
Ridiculous.
And generally it's fallen out. And I mean, we're talking like hundreds of people. This isn't like thousands of people think, but it's still managed to hit the news because obviously they've put the tagline Gamergate on it again, and it's obviously bringing out the whole feminism in gaming. But yeah, basically the company has turned around and fired someone basically to avoid, it's basically saving face, even though it was all these derogatory comments aimed at her. So
That's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. I can't believe that kind of shit's still happening, but
yeah, it's just nuts. I mean, it's really unfair and on people to be treated that way. But obviously this is now going to be causing continuation knock-on effects, and we'll probably see more about it, or it might just slide under the waves again. Who knows? True. Until the next one. But it's definitely worth reading. It's a very interesting article. It's on BBC News. Okay.
All right. Well, I have to check about it more into that because, frankly, I'm disgusted by that behaviour. I think there's just no room for it anymore in this world. No. I'd say no room. Fucking grow up.
Indeed.
Fucking stupid.
Yeah, it is. Honestly, completely flabbergasted by that. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah.
I suppose on that note, we should wrap up this bad
on
boy.
that happy note.
So if you'd like to take part in our conversation, you can either post on our Facebook wall at facebook.com/GameOverYear. You
can tweet us using @GoVR. Follow us on Twitch at www.twitch.tv/GoVR.
You can subscribe to us on YouTube, which is /user/GameOverYear UK. You can drop us an email at contact@gameoveryear.net. And obviously the most important place is our website, which is gameoveryear.net. Thank you for joining us, and until next time, Game Over Year.